Ciao tutti, JJ Coyle with Team Azzurri, looking ahead towards Italy's crucial World Cup qualifier against North Macedonia, the winner playing either Portugal or Turkey away for a chance to go to the World Cup. And obviously Italy missing out on the last World Cup in Russia just gives a sense of more pressure to the situation. We do not want to miss out again. In fact, Italy have won one World Cup game since they last won the World Cup in 2006, which was Balotelli's winner against England. And of course, that there being the big team news that Mancini decided to go for João Pedro ahead of Balotelli in his final selection, citing that João Pedro can play multiple positions. But first, looking at North Macedonia, did they give us any threat at all? Well, they beat Germany. Beat Germany 2-1 last year in the qualifiers. They did get hammered in the reverse fixture, but Goran Pandev and Eljif Elmas getting on the score sheet, and luckily for Italy, neither of them two players were available. Pandev, now retired, the gentleman that helped Inter's treble winning team, still playing but removed from the international scene after the first international championship at the Euros. They didn't get a victory, but as I said, still able to cause a threat. Now Elmas, probably their best player at Napoli, 22 years old, 6 goals, 6 assists across all competitions this season, suspended. Good news, but they do have Enis Bardi, who came up with a hat-trick, pair of penalties in their 5-0 win against Armenia. And they also have Tchaikovsky. He scored when North Macedonia held Italy to a 1-1 draw in our 2018 failed qualifying campaign. Now, of course, in that campaign, we'd already lost to Spain 3-0 at the time, so we were always going to finish second in the group. But nevertheless, it's just to show you that basically they are capable of getting a result if the right circumstances transpire. And Tchaikovsky used to play for Palermo, had a nice 4 years there in 2015. So again, I believe he's got 19 goals in 71 games for North Macedonia. He'll be a threat. And then of course, Bardi with 9 goals in 41, also likely to be a danger in there, having scored recently a hat-trick. In fact, Tchaikovsky, 19 goals in 73 games for North Macedonia. But yeah, a couple of crucial pieces there missing in the middle of the park for them. They're going to play on the counter-attack, but they've got absolutely nothing to lose. And from Italy's point of view, it's more about how they deal with their own issues. You know, the last 7 games since we won Euro 2020, we've won 2 games. We beat Belgium for that 3rd place nothing game in the Nations League, and we beat Lithuania 5-0. We've not managed more than 1 goal in any other fixture. And then going back to the Euros, we drew 1-1 with England in the final before we beat them on penalties, and 1-1 with Spain. Really, since Spinazzola's been injured, there's just been a lack of creativity and final ball and end product. You know, Spinazzola doesn't usually score the goal or create that final assist, but his attacks help Italy massively in the final third, and we're definitely missing that without Spinazzola in the team of the tournament. Another guy we're going to be missing is Italy's Player of the Year, Federico Chiesa, still suffering with his ligament damage, so we obviously wish them both speedy recoveries. Great players. So what about the Italy team news? What are we working with? Well, in goal we've got Gigi Donnarumma. It's gone from being on cloud 9 to just being rock bottom. Here's a guy that was player of the tournament at the Euros. He just moved to PSG. As I said, 2 penalty shootout saves, man of the match, player of the tournament, team of the tournament, all that good stuff. Went to PSG, and then, as we discussed in the last Coils Couch Show Corner, you know, that error that led to Real Madrid getting back in the tie. And the thing is that number 1 shirt isn't even his own at Paris. He's fighting off with Keylor Navas. And does anyone here really think that Donnarumma is ahead of Keylor Navas after that incident? You know, it's pretty much a pick-em situation there. And the wheels really came off for him when he went back to Milan for that Nations League game against Spain, when he was getting booed from his own fans. Of course, having left Milan for PSG. And then Italy ending that 37 undefeated run against the Spanish. At left back, we expect Emerson to continue in the absence of Spinazzola. Both Bonucci, Chiellini, not yet fit, although included in the squad. So Gianluca Mancini coming in from Roma, head of Azzurri. And you've got to say, after the derby, you expect the Roma boys to be in a much more positive state of mind. Lazio looking to fade away. Big 3-0 victory. Next to Gianluca Mancini, he's not really featured a lot, which shows that Mancini is not fully happy with his alternative options. And of course, Chiellini and Bonucci can't go on forever. Next to him, Bastoni. Always excited to see Bastoni. I look at him and I think, is this guy the future of Italy's defence? Big guy, physically imposing, and he's got quality. Very silky player. Can help with the build-up of the attacks. But also prone to simple mistakes, which completely needs to be eradicated. Nevertheless, Bastoni, Gianluca Mancini, brand new pairing at the back. We'll have to see how they get on, but they both should be competent enough against North Macedonia. But you'd be a little bit worried if they both faced up against Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo in the next round for sure. At right back, Florenzi's back in, Di Lorenzo injured. So really, it's going to be a makeshift back line. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because even though Italy haven't scored a lot of goals, we have looked a bit shaky at the back and we do give away big chances. I'm not fully confident, and I'm happy, like I said, to see Bastoni in there. We just need to see a good performance out of him. In midfield, we don't expect any surprises. Jorginho, Verratti, Baralla. And outside of that, the options to rotate the midfield. Stefano Sensi has been nothing short of a revelation in the Azzurri shirt. 3 goals in 8 games. He's back in the squad. He's back fit. And every time I've seen him in an Italy shirt, I think this guy looks amazing. But obviously, he's not fit regularly enough. He weren't able to feature at the European Championships. But for a game, he seems to be the type of player who plays Mancini ball. He wants to play the ball. Another small player with good creativity. So he could come into feature. And also 2 other players that we missed at the Euros, 2 other big players, are back in action. So it's not all negative. Pellegrini and Zaniolo. Pellegrini scored that amazing free kick against Roma in the top corner, literally in the top corner, to cap off that 3-0 victory. Having a strong season at Roma. Really missed him, and it must be touch and go at some point whether he takes over from Insigne. I think Mancini's still all in on Insigne at the moment. Why not back him as a champion? He's your number 10. He led you to glory, but if things are not going right after 60-65 minutes, if Insigne isn't delivering, Pellegrini is the first guy I'd expect to take his place. Up front, the questions around Ciro Immobile will continue. We expect Berardi to come in there. He's played 28 games in all competitions, 27 Serie A games, 14 goals, 14 assists for Sassuolo. In tremendous form. We need him to step up and deliver. You know, he went a bit flat in the Euros, lost his starting place to Chiesa, and now he needs to help us with the goal threat, considering particularly Ciro Immobile's struggles in front of goal. And that's where we're really hoping that someone like Balotelli could come in, because Balotelli has just not really been living up to what you'd need off the bench as your replacement striker. Scamacca looking good, looking like a good goal threat and a really promising talent for Italy, I've got to say, as a number 9 option. However, Scamacca with no real experience for Italy, you know, do you want to put that kind of pressure if you get into a pressure situation with a chance to go to the World Cup or not, and you get a golden chance? Do you want it to fall to somebody without that kind of experience? You know, it's a big burden to put on somebody. You know, and I still think sometimes if he would have brought Balotelli on, it would almost be like, come on, try and bail us out, as opposed to trying to do it as a group effort. So as I said, we're looking at Berardi, Immobile, Insigne from the start, Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella in the midfield. And it's a case of really, if we don't capitalise and take our chances, because we will create more chances, they're going to play deep, and we're going to have more possession, more chances, and dominate them. But if we don't take our chances, Mancini has shown consistently through his reign that he will make wholesale changes. And it's about them changes. In the past 7 games or so, or 9 games really, since Spinazzola's gone down, we've not really had that impact, that kick off the bench. But I think with Stefano Sensi, with Pellegrini, and with Zaniolo, we have them difference makers. If the first 11 and particularly the attackers stagnate. So guys, I thoroughly expect to be back here with some sort of reaction to an Italy win, going on to play against Portugal. And if we don't beat North Macedonia, you won't see me. I'm just going to disappear. Never do a video again. Don't hold me to that, but, you know, yeah. Just be an absolute disaster. I mean, just think about it. 1 World Cup game we've won since 2006. 1 game. 2010, lost the game, drew 2. 2014, we beat England 2-1. Lost to Costa Rica, lost to Uruguay. Didn't make 2018. I would not change our European victory for a ticket to go to the World Cup. But we need to be at the party. Come on now. Party isn't a party if Italy ain't there, for sure. Particularly a football party. Okay, guys. Try and enjoy the game. Until next time. Forza Italian. Come on, guys. Let's get the job done for Mancio, please. Grazie.